just being a little bit in disbelief about your shock pick. Right behind you, don't turn around. You might startle them. But right behind you are two casters for this very matchup. Jack looked like he saw some ghosts.
What, birds in a cage or what? Like, he's gonna rattle the bars.
I've worked with Johnny long enough that I saw the back of Johnny's head and I was like, he's about to predict the San Francisco shock. He's got that look in his back of his head.
The
He's
vibe
going
was
to go for the shock.
Who are you?
The hairs on the back of his neck are standing out.
Why are you here at the Overwatch League if you can predict people's spreads on the back of their heads? I feel like that's a skill you can
how much
utilize
of a
elsewhere.
unique skill is that, though? So I can predict Overwatch League desk analysts and their predictions. So where else are you going to
Looks
use
good on the resume.
Where else are
Looks
you
good on
going
the
to use
resume.
You didn't make it onto the Justice League, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? It's a good skill, though. It's a good skill to have.
It is a good
Trust.
skill.
Johnny.
And here's the thing, I don't think Johnny is completely ridiculous with his call of going for the San Francisco Shock. This is a team that, on paper, should be very strong. The real question is, we haven't seen it throughout the entirety of this season. They have just had a 2-week break after losing to the London Spitfire and the Hardy Rush. So now, what have they learned? What are they cooking?
Striker.
That's what he's cooking.
That's what they're cooking right now.
Okay.
Actually cooking Striker up. I mean, look, Striker joining the San Francisco Shock, it was inevitable.
Yeah,
Yet
true.
again. You know, you do reach that point in the year and you're like, wait, Striker's on a team that's not the Shock? Wait a second.
Okay, time for him to retire and then come back to the San
I
Francisco
sense a
Shock.
transfer coming along. You know, picking him up. I mean, good time to pick him up. You need some clutch factor. And I wouldn't be surprised too, like, so he's pointing on the desk, actually. Maybe just throwing him in for control.
Yeah, maybe.
You just put him on Tracer, right? That's who he's best at. And
Yeah, okay, in the past, you used to put him on Tracer. He is proper on his
that's
team
very
now.
true, right, yeah. And that's a big question I have, actually. Is Striker just going to be put on Tracer and then proper something else? Maybe proper Echo, Strike on the Tracer, depending on the map. So
Maybe Striker Sombra as well. We've seen it from him in the past. They don't have many adept players at that hero. They signed Probe, who's more catered towards hit scan rather than the Sombra, so maybe Strike has filled in with that role. But not just talking about Striker, Finn also coming back into the lineup sort of piques my interest because Finn has historically been on the bench since this rebuild happened in the mid-season madness. Renko has been playing, Smile. But looking at what I'm right now, it feels like the San Francisco Shock might be going down the line. They might be, because we've talked about this yesterday in our cast of they only need to play 2 more matches in this meta. Why not do something different? And that's exactly what they're going to do, Jack.
Jumping ball, okay.
It is great.
Yes.
Finn Zenyatta is great.
Yeah, that is very true. Problem is, Sugar-Free on Sombra.
Yeah.
And Ramatra with a wall. There's the lamp. And Finn in a whole world of hurt. There you go. He's already dead. Strike picks the first kill, though, because he sang and Crimzo, in fact. All right, trades across the board. 3 versus 3 now. But with jumping on ball, you don't need no healers. That's for sure. All right.
Striker gets 3 in this team fight. He's just absolutely rinsing out the Titans on this Sombra, and that's going to work. It looked like the Shock were in trouble with Luke Mino and Finn getting pinned against that wall, but the San Francisco Shock just able to exist, continue to push them down, and now Vancouver Titans are making swaps. Punk over to the Doomfist, Crimzo onto the Moira.
He rolled out on Moira, but Doomfist is quite an interesting one, because you're just going to get blown up just like this. That Discord Orb hack, like Doom is used to. A bit like Wrecking Ball, right? Kind of useless when they get hacked, and rather large target to shoot 2. There's the slam, hits 3, jump in, forced to roll out as Punk hit the punch. But I mean, you could just keep doing this. It's very annoying for Punk to kind of lock him down. Yes, Doomfist is good against Maul in displacing him, but Punk just needs to execute on the backline. And, well, maybe not so much anymore. Sugar-Free ends up going down to the headshot of Finn, jump in as Mines, and San Francisco Shock are just, well, figuratively and literally rolling over the Vancouver Titans.
And if you're the Titans, what tools do you have to deal with this Junbin Wrecking Ball? You have pretty much the Sombra is the only thing you manual hack, and she's going to do a lot of damage, but the backline can't deflect. They can sort of try and push him away, but they can't kill him. They don't have the damage to sort of dislodge him from their backline. So Junbin's going to be playing this game for free. If you're the Vancouver Titans, you need to play fast and get on top of Luke Mino and Finn.
Well, Finn's already got Transcendence, and they've got a lamp to sustain themselves. EMP for Striker, lining it up. They know where he is. All good. Little manual hack, but they don't really need to do much here. I mean, you can even play defensively as a Striker right now. Just wait for the engagement, hit a big EMP. Well, Punk's going to come in. There's the window from the high ground from Lucamino, and the EMP does land from Striker. However, Punk sends himself up to the sky, straight on top of Lucamino's head. Decent kill, and Titans have time on the point 2. They do trade pretty well, but San Francisco Shock is so sustainable on their own. So, I mean,
Finn wins that?
EMP comes out. Finn does end up killing 2. In fact, both DPS the Vancouver Titans killed by Finn.
Yeah.
And that's round.
That was an EMP onto Finn, and Finn just took it
Finn
and came
wins.
back even stronger. And now Punk is trying to get back to the point, trying to touch it. Someone else is there, but they're going to have to stagger back onto this point. Fortunately, Faith does have the sound barrier to keep them alive.
There's the sound barrier. Okay, does hit 5. Proper chased away. Pointing congestion now as Jumpin rolls all the way through it. Popper down by just a swift. Jumpin just slam back in. Finn on the high ground. He's trying to target him. He has got pulse bomb. Easy target, you would say. And there you go. But a good lamp. Just in time by Lucamino to save himself and Finn. He does end up going down, but Finn is still alive and kicking. In fact, almost smacked Heesang in the face. Heesang with a nice little double kill though. The Vancouver Titans are back in with time on the board. They did cap the point halfway through that fight, but the Shock can come back with an EMP and some mines.
Titans were able to get the flip, and from there, San Francisco Shock, it felt like they weren't able to keep their backline alive off of some great tracer play from Heesang. But now the Shock, they're able to come back. They have the EMP, they have the mines, and even coming up to support ultimates as well, Jack. This is going to be difficult for the Titans to win, and Punk's already down.
Already dead. Crimzo has that coalescence. Got to be careful about using it though. Oh well, he doesn't use it. In fact, I'll tell you what happens. Finn starts just killing people. Okay, I'm not gonna talk bad about the Zen any longer. I love to see Zen in Overwatch League gameplay, and if it's piloted by Finn, if he could do this every single round, never gonna complain again. Heesang dead. I mean, Crimzo can come back with the coalescence. Someone is going to be able to touch. Punk leaps over, EMP hits, and Punk goes down. A nice fade, I think, actually, from Crimzo to get him out the EMP. A perfectly timed ban by Lucamino keeps Finn alive at literally 1 HP. A big grin on Finn's face as he saves the Transcendence, maybe even for the next round. Sugar Free touches once more, but OT, wow, is swiftly driven away from the Vancouver Titans and the San Francisco Shock. Jumpin talking about Heesang there in match chat too. Okay, okay.
You can see Heesang having a bit of a smile himself. And the San Francisco Shock absolutely doing something different. This is a style the Vancouver Titans aren't going to be used to playing against. The Wrecking Ball hasn't been picked up by many teams at all. Pretty much only the San Francisco Shock. Jack, you speak small amounts of Korean. Fill me in.
It's not that good.
What?
It's not that fast, I can't do it.
It's not that fast? Okay. Well, we're just going to have to assume.
He was talking to Heesang and he said something about Busan being a good map, I think. I can't really. Chat's gone, my brain doesn't work. We need to cast now.
Well, it is talking about Busan and this being a good map. Zenyatta does work on this map most of these points because of the long sightlines and how hard it is to get onto the Zenyatta. They're going to play it once again as we head over to downtown. The exact same compositions. Vancouver Titans going back to the Winston Tracer Sombra.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be much harder for Finn to survive. But same with Punk, apparently. Jumpin taking infinite damage. Couldn't quite get the fireball there to roll away. Manual hacks, easy kill. I like Crimzo on the Ana too. It's going to make Jumpin's life a little bit more difficult. I mean, if you do get slept, it's easy to get away with the ball, but I mean, if you line up some additional CC, maybe the hack, you get some more damage in. We'll stop him from going in once again.
Finn tries to step forward. They have to use the lamp very early from the San Francisco Shock as the first flip goes to the Titans.
Oh my god. Okay, Finn is farming right now on the Zen.
He is.
So many final blows.
6 final blows to be exact. 6 and only 3 deaths. And that's the thing that stands out to me. So far, the Vancouver Titans haven't been able to punish this greedy pick of the Zenyatta. Zenyatta's very easy to dive if you can get on top of them. But what happens is if you don't get on top of them, the Discord Orb and the damage, it's going to be too much.
Oh, Jumpin. Couldn't even pile drive it there. That was unfortunate. He was up on that high ground. Punk and Sugar Free pretty low. They take Mega Health Pack room. Proper though, with a good first pick on to Faith.
And that's going to slow everything down once again. And this is more time for Finn to get up to this Transcendence, which makes it obviously harder to dive. Sugar Free is coming up to the EMP, but so far in this map, he hasn't been successful every time he's had an EMP and dropped it on Finn.
Sleep, nade, pulse. Oh!
Traded.
But Finn still gets a kill. Don't worry. Finn is still farming. Like, that is just ridiculous. Again, that was a sleep, a nade, a pulse bomb used to just kill Jumpin. EMP does land, Scott, but it lands onto Punk. Instant nano applied by Crimzo. Good heads-up play. And now Sugar Free trying to set up for an EMP onto Finn. There it is. Finn doesn't quite get the lamp in time or that ultimate off. He's eventually taken down, but at what cost, Scott? The Vancouver Titans struggling to get onto this point.
Yeah, Junbin is still alive, just rolling around. Oh, the flip does come through.
That's
Minor mistake
really
from the
annoying.
shock. All of a sudden, they might just have to give this fight up, and that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, if Jumpin touches there, then Striker was there to touch more. It might have just led into 80%.
Finn comes back with the Transcendence. Right. It can snowball down away from the Titans, but fortunately, they do get the flip. So now, how did the San Francisco Shock get back into this fight?
Good nade.
Jumpin falls as well.
Oh, hello, Punk. Yo. Ooh.
Oh, he sang.
Okay, he sang. And now Punk has arrived. And now he leaves. Okay, see you later.
Oh, huge name.
Everybody's won, man. Oh.
Punk, go in.
Yeah, go in, please. You haven't got Primal. Skill 3.
All right, so San Francisco Shock now, this is where this composition gets difficult, of they're walking into the open arms of the Vancouver Titans. So Finn is going to have to route around in a way in which he can sort of not have to pop the Transcendence instantly. You can see Junbin, Striker, and Proper trying to create that space, but they're getting so low.
Heesang squaring up to his old teammate there and Proper.
Jumpin
slept. Jumpin slept pretty low. Pulls him in the hand of Heesang. Hack does end up wearing off, and there's the fireball. Rolls away, but not quick enough. Scott couldn't reach Mach 1 speed as the Vancouver Titans still control. Gaining the lead now, in fact, as Sugarfree lines himself up for an EMP. 99, there's 100%. Aim is good. Proper, Finn, Lucamino down. Vancouver Titans looking to make this last fight.
Sugarfree gets another EMP before Finn has even used his first Transcendence. That's how quickly he's charging them up, because he's just shooting Junbin on the Wrecking Ball.
Right.
And Finn, every time he steps up and wants to use it, he gets hacked or EMP'd. So it's really difficult for them to utilize their composition. They do have lots of ultimates getting into this fight, but Striker did use the EMP and didn't come up with anything.
Lucamino in trouble.
Very low.
Yeah, did get a Orb of Harmony there from Finn to keep him alive. OT is triggered by Jumpin. But again, Crimzo just anteing him as well.
Yeah.
Window on the high ground, on the low ground, sorry, and there's Striker already dead. San Francisco Shock have to touch. They have ult, Transcendence. There it is.
Finally.
Used, pushing on points. Those mines are going to be keeping Titans at bay, at least half the point. Pulse Bomb still available by Heesang. A beautiful stick. And no more touches for the San Francisco Shock. Round number 3.
Great stabilization from the Titans. Understanding, hey, we just need to win one team fight. Start getting our ultimate economy cycling from there. The Shock just didn't really have any way to get back into these fights. Finn Zenyatta not coming up anywhere near as successfully as it did on Mecha Base. But as we head over to Shrine, this is a map that actually a lot of teams have played Zenyatta Wrecking Ball in the past. It's probably the map that it's the most successful in. So I expect to see Shock come out this one again.
Yeah, it seems like the strongest map for it, to be fair. Because, like, what? You're Finn, you're Zen, you don't want people to get on top of you. The sight lines are so long, it's like, well, I just play all the way to the back line.
Exactly.
Like, it's not too much of a worry to work me or the rest of my team. Like, I just apply an orb and then off you go.
How does Punk close the distance to get on top of the Zenyatta? The real threat you have to deal with is the Sombra.
Oh, the
So
hack
keep an eye on
race.
Sugarfree.
Unfortunately, the Shock lost the hack race there.
Yeah, that's
rest
true.
in peace.
Which does matter, because all of a sudden getting
You
control.
can't take the drum.
Yeah, and for Junbin, like, he needs to play around these mega health packs, because he's very rarely going to get healed by the Zenyatta and the Baptiste, at least meaningful healing.
Yeah, maybe a couple of right clicks on the BAP and maybe an orb.
You can see the Titans corralling the backline of the San Francisco Shock. Junbin's trying to counter dive it, actually.
Yeah.
Does a good job.
Good slam. Lamp burned. Lucamino in trouble. Hacked, anti, but he's still alive somehow, some way. Jumpin, he's just, God, he's playing Super Monkey Ball right now. Like, he's just getting booped all over the place. He's taking Crimzo, cleaning up some kills, and the Vancouver Titans with a decent position again. Taking that high ground control too was actually very important. I don't want to say the hack mega health pack was what led to the fight win, but allowing Crimzo to just sit on high ground like that at super long range, if he's not healing, he's just popping shots at Finn and Lucamino.
And they're just going to keep moving around the map on the outside, just trying to find the shortest distance to ever get on the back of Finn and Lucamino, because that is the crux of the San Francisco Shock composition. Junbin's trying to find any targets to get around on top of, but he's just, as you said, playing
swinging.
Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, he's going around. He's flipping all over the place, but I mean, he needs to find a target to jump on top of. Probably just taking a chunk out of Punk at the moment.
Yeah, trying to find something, but doesn't want to attach the Pulse Bomb, knowing that a Nano Boost could come out.
Yeah, you got to expect Crimzo's got it already. Of course, we know he was a couple of percentage points away. There you go. Jumpin now trying to get onto the point, but again, packed. Punk goes in with the Nano, forcing Finn away, just pops the lamp, but no,
nice.
just crushed the almighty Winston. jumping on top of Finn's head. I mean, there's not much you can really do about that. It's just a quick reset here. But oh, Punk messes up! 9 HP? Oh my, that could have been a disastrous kill, actually. Jumpin managed to take care of Punk there. Maybe they roll out again. Nisang throws Pulse out, all good. You can farm another one rather swiftly. And Shock, they stacked 5 ults, Scott.
Yeah, because they haven't been able to take an effective fight.
Can't do anything.
They keep losing a member before the fight even happens because the Titans are doing such a great job. Now Sugar Free with an EMP. He's looking for Luke, Mino, and Finn, but Faith down proper gives them an opening.
Real good pulse. Now, the question is, do you commit any more ults? You've used mines, you've used pulse, probably not anymore. Nice little sleep from Crimzo. Can't get the kill. There's the recall, cleanses all. And with the Titans claiming 85%, one big EMP could do it, but the Shock's backline, they got to stay strong, Scott. They got to stand tall here.
Fortunately for them, they didn't have to use the Transcendence. That is going to be the key. Can Sugar Free find the EMP, take down Finn before he can use the Transcendence? But Strike has an EMP of his own. He might see the Titans starting to step up and drop this EMP. Look, he wants it. He wants to go for the Winston. He doesn't even want to hit the backline.
It's so hard to hit the Winston up here, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get manual hack, but yeah, Punk just puts bubble down. But even then, if you EMP'd him, you have to get in a really awkward spot to actually shoot the Winston on top of that drum.
But he didn't even need to do anything or kill him. Right. He dissuaded Punk from taking that forward momentum, so therefore he's done his job, and it didn't cost the San Francisco Shock anything. Punk makes the same jump again, tries to get on top of this barrel. As I said, just trying to close the distance to the Zenyatta.
There's the Nano. Straight to the back line. In fact, Striker's going to actually meet him there. The recall's pretty good. Again, dissuading Punk. EMP does land, but he gets out. He still had the damage mitigation, Scott, from the Nano boost. Here comes the rally. The Vancouver Titans out squaring up with their own EMPs, jumping afflicted by the hack. Same with Proper, but they're still alive. A missed Pulse Bomb could be disastrous. The Vancouver Titans cannot find a single kill after using almost every single ult.
The point is almost
San Francisco Shock, though, are so low, Scott, and the point, yeah, is almost flipped.
They have to stay on it. Jumbin trying to just juggle his weight onto the point.
85% for the Shock. The Titans. The Shock are nearing that. Nisang and Sugar Free end up finding the kills eventually. A heavy ult investment from both teams as the Titans make this the last fight.
Finn and Luke Mino need to stay alive. They can't fall.
I mean, a manual hack is good, but what enough? No, there's the lamp. Finn still shooting, but Punk pops the primal. Luke Mino, Finn down. Jump in there to touch the point, but it's only Striker for backup. An easy hack. And it should be all she wrote. The Vancouver Titans with a 2-1 victory on Busan.
Just able to live through the onslaught of the damage backline with Luke Mino and Finn. It looked good from time to time, but you can really see the weaknesses of why people don't try to play this Baptiste Zenyatta everywhere, because it can be very difficult if the dive is just effective. Punk and Sugar Free did a phenomenal job of just corralling them into a corner, and that either the backline steps forward into a trap or Junbin gets left on an island alone. So that's what you're trying to juggle, and Vancouver respond effectively.
And I do love seeing the Zen. That's all I'm saying. I wonder if any substitutions are going to come through from the San Francisco Shock going into the next round, or next map even.
Yeah, because you can't play this Wrecking Ball Baptiste Zenyatta on all of these maps, especially Escort and Hybrid. There's too many chokes. It's not as open. You can't have those long sightlines that really enable Zenyatta. So we might see some substitutions coming from Shock. We might see something even more unique. Maybe just accepting that they're not great in the Winston Tracer Sombra dive and trying to play to their own strengths.
I mean, that's what you need, especially at this time in the game. You have got just this week, and then, brand new patch drops pretty soon, right? So
everything changes.
Exactly. So maybe you're not too worried that you can't stand up to the very best with the Tracer Sombra dive. Big questions for the San Francisco Shock after this break. Are there going to be any subs? Who are they going to play? That's the question. Numbani, Circuit Royale, Colosseo, Ilios to round this one out. This is going to be a 5-map banger. I already know it. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit. got to throw some of that clean, sugar-free scrim gameplay in there. That little video just before we get in. Vancouver Titans, Scott. Up to they went 2-1 on Busan. Upper map already. A little experimentation from the Shock. Not enough to stand up to the almighty Vancouver Titans.
But the San Francisco Shock, interestingly, are not changing any of their players. But before we get into that, let's look at the Tracer head-to-head between Heesang and Proper.
It's pretty close, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Obviously, I think both players having very high impact in the server right now. Almost 10,000 damage per 10. Great pulse bomb attach rate. So they're both doing their job right now. But it just felt like Proper was playing on an island almost because he doesn't really have anyone to follow up. He can't follow up the Winston. Just sort of trying to play his own game. Found some success, but not enough. But as you said,
I don't know if it was just like bias or whatever, but like I swear I saw more Finn kills than anybody else.
that is absolutely biased. I could see your eyes light up every time as Zenyatta got a kill.
Finally, he's being played.
But here's the question. They're not changing any of their players, which means that they have Finn to play the flex support. They have Luke Mino, who has been playing the main support. But we head over to Numbani. Isn't a wrecking ball map for the most part. Yeah. It's very difficult, especially that first point, to attack, even on defense. So what are the San Francisco Shock cooking as we head on over? Maybe this is just the core roster we will see from the Shock moving forward.
Maybe. A little bit of Ryan, maybe, a little Reinhardt. I just want to see more Ryan on this map. I really liked it when we saw Florida Mayhem played it, obviously London have played it. I think it's just a unique flavor of the first points. Works well on third too, and second, kind of. Not so much. Not so much second. A lot of high ground, maybe not so much second.
I was willing to give you the third point. I'm not going to give you the second point Reinhardt gameplay.
Well, you say ball's not good, but I mean, hey, same comp. Strike is still in, so playing Sombra, they're playing proper on Tracer, Finn on the Zen. They're just sticking with this double flex support. They're running, jumping on ball. Now, how do you really execute this here?
Don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, if I'm being honest. Like, Baptiste, we see Anas in particular really struggle to stay alive on this point when they're on the defense because the offensive team, they can dive with the Winston, the Echo can follow through. So it's going to be very difficult to keep both Finn and Luke Mino alive. I like it. It's a different look from the San Francisco Shock, but I'll believe it when I see it that it's actually going to work on a map like Numbani.
Faith.
Oh, he got saved.
Oh, he got scouted. Faith choosing the Brig.
Oh.
The
Mercy, yeah.
Okay, yeah, still all right, sticking with it.
People have been doing this with the Echo and the Hanzo. You just
on first.
And this is going to be hard for the San Francisco Shock because they're not going to be able to sort of hold up against the scrutiny of an Echo and the Hanzo. Like, look at Finn. He's peeking his head. He's just going to have arrows and sticky bombs heading his way consistently, and anything could take him out at any moment. Yeah,
you have to be a crack shot to hit an Echo and a Mercy on that in the air in that skybox.
Look at how much positioning the Titans have already taken. They've taken this short elbow coming over here. Even Sugar Free has moved all the way over to the high ground. Oh, Junmin getting Faith is a huge pick.
Okay, that's not the first pick if you want to see for your Titans. All right, they do end up trading, but not really beneficially at all.
Yeah.
He's like dead. How did Jumping get the roll kill there? That's, must have been a little bit of chip damage.
Yeah.
Maybe from Striker, Proper. Again, you can discord people like that from that far. Well, actually, you can't do it from that far away anymore.
That's true.
They did end up nerfing the range, I believe, by what, like 5 meters
I
or
don't
something?
know if that's in this patch, though, because I believe that was the mid-season patch that has not been integrated into the league. So I believe it might just be the
false information live on broadcast.
Classic spread of misinformation by us here. Vancouver Titans actually switching Faith off of the Mercy. He's saying off of the Hanzo back to the regular sort of Tracer Echo Winston style.
Yeah, regular schedule programming now. The news will be at 6. The Custer News Network's back at 6 p.m.
Oh, I need royalties for that, mate. All right, now
the boost onto Punk does get booped away by Jumpin, and Jumpin just said, I stand. I stand here. 1 HP, gets away, is going to receive the shift. Yes, from Lucamino. Heals him all the way up. And now the Primal Rage ensues, but a hack and a Discord Orb, and already in 0.5 seconds, 500 damage went his way. EMP's good for a kill on Sugar Free, who was on the point, isolated from the rest of his team. And with 2 minutes to go, this unconventional defense from the San Francisco Shock is working out.
It doesn't feel like the Titans really know how to deal with this Zenyatta Baptiste playing in that small room. I'd almost like to see them go through that coastal area, close that distance, make it a lot shorter, because right now they're trying to jump such a long way through the Jumbin Wrecking Ball. with everybody sort of hounding them down. Because right now, San Francisco Shock absolutely making this Baptiste Zen look like a solid choice.
Well, do together from Sugar Free. If he's brave enough, he'll copy the ball. No, copy the Tracer, in fact. Already hit the recall. Feels a little bad, but maybe gets a free pulse bomb after farming Junbin. Mines are going to be a little bit annoying for him to actually get past. He does get healed, a little bit of overhealth. There's the pulse into the room. Not too much of anything was happening there, but he does transform back into the Echo. Bit more long-range damage now as Lucamino and Finn are finally in trouble. There's the pulse bomb, landed on the floor, but it killed Finn anyway as Lucamino retreats using the cover of the mines to get to safety. Nanabu still available from Crimzo as Sugar Free receives it, and now here comes the damage. There we go, follows up on Jumpin with the help of Crimzo. And that should be the first point over to the Titans unless Striker and the rest of the gang can make it back in time.
How did Crimzo get on the high ground? Did he run all the way through that hallway when they were pushing through?
I think he did.
He's in a great position, and that's really enabled the Titans to close this one out.
Wow, I think they were expecting Striker to touch. You see Jumpin kind of rolling up there, but Striker was touching when he was invis. So didn't end up triggering that OT, or like the stall in fact, and Jumpin not able to get back in time. Would have been a good spot too, because Striker's almost near that EMP.
And that was really close to a first point hold there from the San Francisco Shock. Lucamino and Finn held on for so long, just sort of holding on from that dive. They threw everything they could at them, but eventually Finn falls. From there, the San Francisco Shock didn't have too many answers.
Is that mine still on the point? What was that mine? What was that mine doing?
The permanent mine.
Oh really? Please no. Oh my god, please no. That is the update no one wants, in fact.
Except for a few select people.
Players.
Yeah.
EMP hits 2, he sang him Punk, and now Sugar Free with a manual hack. Proper anti, but that health pack making good work of that one, actually. Pretty nice one to hack, in fact. No one from the Vancouver Titans can tread into that room, not lightly anyway.
Yeah, and that's just going to cause a little bit of a slowdown here for the Vancouver Titans. They continue to hold closest. Yeah, Junmin's just like rolling around in front of them.
Dude, he's waiting for people to cross so he can bowl people off the edge. That's all he's doing. All right, Vancouver Titans, they do lay out the pulse bomb, but
he primals.
Yeah, punks upon the primal rage, and yeah, who's in the kill feed again? Oh, it's Finn. Heesang goes down to a couple of swift headshots, and Sugar Free falls as well. That primal rage force is actually quite nasty when you think about it for the Vancouver Titans. That's a big tool to get into a fight and cause some major disruption. They don't have that anymore.
My favorite thing of this series so far is just watching you highlight every single Zen.
He got a kill, he got a kill, he got a kill. He got some headshots, he's wicked.
Everyone else
Finn's
gets a kill, don't care, didn't ask.
Yeah.
As soon as Finn gets a kill.
Proper 4K, Finn gets 1, look at Finn go.
Look at him go. He is doing a great job on this Zenyatta. It is hard to really sort of speak to how difficult it is to play Zenyatta, and Finn is playing it to a T. Heesang is really struggling to close that distance because every time he steps up, he's getting headshot.
All right, Payload was contested for a brief moment there. I think it was Sugar Free in stealth and then popping out. Just force Shock to rotate. Same situation though, Scott. 60 seconds to go. Looking dire for the Vancouver Titans right now, especially with double support ultimate and EMP for Striker coming up.
Yeah, they don't have the ability to sort of force Finn to use this Transcendent. So fortunately, Vancouver Titans have got the cart moving. San Francisco Shock have conceded that front half space, but here comes Junbin with the mines.
No slam, just the mines. Vanilla Wrecking Ball gameplay.
Shouldn't really do anything of anything. Vancouver Titans, they're probably going to clear those mines away, slow things down just a little bit. It has given enough time for Striker to charge up another EMP though.
Sugar Free's not too far behind though, Scott, 10%. Jim is taking infinite damage.
Oh, how did that happen?
Wait, what? How did that happen? Yeah. Jumpy was in that room with Striker, I guess, and Punk just randomly killed him with the left click? All right, I mean, Heesang's got a free pulse now with Striker dead. Sugar Free can just sit on this point with the CMP. The window comes out to try and deal with Punk, but he pops the Primal Rage, and now the whole of the San Francisco Shock backline in trouble. There's the EMP from Sugar Free. Only hits Jumpin, who was antied, but he's too quick to chase. He eventually goes down to the likes of Crimzo, but with Faith on the point and the rally, he's going to be very hard to actually dislodge. Sugar Free still alive, and Crimzo too. The Vancouver Titans just standing strong. Finn is kicking, screaming at the rest of the Shock to try and get some kills, and he finds one. Sugar Free down, Faith still holding on to this point.
They just can't take down Lucamino or Finn, so Prophet's just able to stay on the point.
Spawns way better for San Francisco Shock here, and there's eventually people start trickling in. Proper kills. Heesang, Crimzo in trouble. A nice Discord orb helps him find the double kill. And Faith, he tried so hard to keep that point contested, but the backline for the Shock just dishing out unhealable amounts of damage.
And, you know, we talk about how much impact Finn is getting on this Zenyatta. The unsung hero is Luke Mino. His ability to keep Finn alive through these dives. He sang was hounding Finn for what felt like 20 seconds, but Luke Mino was able to keep healing him, keep him alive, forcing those cooldowns, and the San Francisco Shock just able to hold on and hold the second point, which is pretty uncommon on a map like Numbani.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some crazy Numbani second point stalls, like we saw one the other day that lasted, what, like maybe 17 minutes? Like, that was a pretty long one, to be fair. I gave enough time for Strike to actually come in, EMP, die, switch to Soldier, come back, get a kill, and they eventually they wrap it up. I mean, Sugar Free's EMP, I mentioned it in the leading up to that fight, he can just basically sit on point, wait for things to happen, but he hit the EMP, but it took so long for them to kill Jumbin, it just gave enough time for the Shock. Shock are playing with these very, very small windows of time, enabling Striker to get EMP, waiting for Lucamino and Finn, just Jumbin's ability to stall, and like you said, Lucamino and Finn staying alive for so long. It's hard for Titans to execute on that.
And if you're Sugar Free, obviously we couldn't see his perspective of everything that he was doing, but in a perfect world, he would have been able to hold that EMP, wait for the transcendence of Finn to end, and then drop it on both backliners. That would have really dropped the hammer, but he wasn't able to do that. Jumbin falls, but it just wasn't enough. What am I looking at?
What is this? What is Krusty cooking? What is he cooking in the kitchen? Junker Queen. We have Finn on the Kiriko. We have a pocketed Proper and Striker on Hanzo. Okay. All right. No, this is...
So let's try and work this out as we go through with it. Junbin stepping up, they're taking this top left room. The reason they're able to take this so freely is because Vancouver Titans can't really stand up to the scrutiny of a Junker Queen walking up through this way, the Hanzo and the Echo. The issue the Shock are going to have is finding anyone to take down, but Striker, he doesn't care about that, takes down Sugar Free.
Nice little headshot. And like you mentioned, it's hard for Punk to really make space because you're jumping into a damage boost and also Jumbin's there with a giant axe. Like, good luck. Oh, he sank dead, and well, that's first point, Scott. Done.
Almost way too easy. Just a great shot there from Striker on the Hanzo. Jumbin saying something.
I think he said where.
Where?
Maybe? Can't remember.
How?
How? How? Where? What? Why? I mean, now we're seeing Striker. Okay, he does switch over to the Sombra. I was curious if he was going to stick on Hanzo. It's quite nice sight lines, to be fair.
Yep.
On this point for the Hanzo, but I mean, you're looking at a giant time bank. This part of the point's pretty easy to take. Just one EMP on second might just do it. And a double diff. Look at the giant grin on his face. He knows what he's done.
Anyone who's ever played Kiriko has had the exact same moment. You're just throwing them in the general direction.
I did it, guys. I did it.
But that's so bad for the Titans because that's less time for Sugar Free to get up an EMP of himself. Striker's already caught up to him, and now they're going to have the duplicate, the Kitsune Rush, the Valkyrie. They're going to have so many tools. And as you said, Jack, final fight.
And a good angle here from Proper might result in another kill if the Vancouver Titans aren't careful. A duplication. Everything in the tank ready to go. Finn does teleport away. He's getting chased. Someone help him.
They can res that though.
Yeah, surely. I mean, the Valk's popped. Like, there's no way you're not resing that one. They're just going to march on forward. I mean, that's one already down.
Also, keep an eye on Junbin's ultimate, the Rampage. If he can hit the backliners with it, Vancouver Titans will have no answers to that.
Good reactive bubble there by Punk, but not exactly the place you really want to use that one, to be fair. You want to use that on an engagement, not just Proper, just turning you to mincemeats. There's the Kitsune Rush, and now here comes the charge of the Shock. A hack, in fact, an EMP hits 4. Shock grounded. Proper no chance to hit that dupe. And the Vancouver Titans held off for long enough for Sugar Free to EMP. And now comes the cleanup. A couple of staggers here will be nice for the time bank. Oh, an EMP in return from Striker? Is there any follow-up at all on this? I don't think there is, no. But it does force the Titans all the way back, so no staggers on the Shock side either.
And now Jumbin does have that Rampage. The problem that he's going to run into is how does he even hit Crimzo with this one? He's sitting on the back high ground and they have no one to stop him from being up there.
One person Rampage. I mean, you're just looking at Faith.
Yeah,
you're just looking at Faith. If you get Faith, all good. Axe swing straight through Punk's hitbox.
At what point of the Shock do you start thinking, this is taking too long, this is costing us too much time, maybe we should start making some switches? Because right now, it doesn't feel like they have many answers to what the Vancouver Titans are doing because the backline can just play so safe.
Yeah.
Every time Jumbin steps up, he's getting biotic grenaded, and Luke Mino's stuck on a Mercy, such a suboptimal pick.
Yeah, it really is. Valkyrie available, don't worry. And now look who's retreated to high ground. Faith, he used the rally on low ground, they won the fight, he retreats, and now who do you rampage? Anybody that gets rampage, to be fair, they get nanite. So yeah, a bit of an odd situation. Or you're just going to offensive nanite, why not? Suzu on the ground to save yourself. Finn running away, trying as he must. Lucamino is healing him, luckily enough. Punk does manage to get out, but not quite quick enough. Look at disappointment on his face, and I'll be disappointed too. A Kitsune rush from the high ground, and those kunais be flying. Crimso in a little bit of trouble. You don't want to dice with Finn, that's for sure. And yeah, even Sugar Free thought better of it. A kunai and a swift melee onto Heesang, finishing him off, and no touches for the Vancouver Titans as the Shock take Numbani.
Crucial mistake from Punk, just overstaying his welcome, trying to get too much value out of that nano boost. After he goes down, all of a sudden, the Vancouver Titans just don't have that looming threat of a Winston dive. And San Francisco Shock drop all their ultimates, and the weird comp prevails.
Yeah, just that one pick. Just that singular pick on Punk, that's all it took. I mean, was there a rampage? Not sure. Didn't matter in the end. And that's the big thing with the Queen. And that was the big problem, stepping up and just getting naded constantly.
Yeah.
It worked really well, to be fair, on
3 HP.
on this one. Oh,
and then
so
look at this. Heesang tries to step up here to try and punish it.
Slams it.
Gets got.
Shot. It was really nice timing from Lucamino there. The regenerative burst, giving that instant HP when someone's below 50. Pulse bomb on the bench. Have a seat, Finn. Thank you. And I'm liking what Shock are doing right now. Obviously, Shock have been on a downtrend. They have been. Fans are still resolute. They always will be, and that's great to see. And it might be even better to see if Shock take the win here today, because the Vancouver Titans are again on an uptrend. It feels like the match yesterday, Scott, with Gladiators very much tumbling down right now, with the Vancouver Titans surging up. The Shock felt the same way. We're going on to map number 3 now, Scott. Circuit. Now this is going to test Shock. Everybody, welcome back. San Francisco Shock and the Vancouver Titans tying this one up. We're going to Circuit Royale next, and we do have a couple of substitutions. Junbin is out, Max is in, and we do have Proby coming in. However, Proby is playing from Korea, so a little bit of a ping discrepancy there.
This is something, you know, he's dealt with that every time he's come in to play for the Shock so far this season. He's overcome it. He is a great hit scan player, and as we head over to Circuit Royale,
That's what you need.
yeah, it's what you need. With Max coming in, it pretty much San Francisco Shock showing their hand of, I expect them to be playing that Sigma, playing that snipers. When you have Luke Mino and Finn in as well, Luke Mino has been playing the Brig for the San Francisco Shock, well, when they were playing main support, but I expect them to play Baptiste Zen once again. It's actually good on Circuit Royale, or at least conventional.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it looks like they're just going to go with the Sigma and just the classic circuit comp at this point. How do we rate Punk's chances there against Max? I mean, ideally, you know, you do play the dive here if you're the Vancouver Titans, just not really the map you can square up against the Sigma. It's just so tough with a well-oiled Sigma team.
And Punk is a great Sigma. He is a flex tank player from the past, but Max has also been lauded as a great flex tank player coming out of Korean contenders. The big issue that a lot of people have had with Max is it feels like every time he's played for the Shock, he's kind of been shoehorned in and he hasn't been playing his comfort. Now, if he is coming in to play that Sigma, he should be right at home, and we can start to really see how this rookie is going to go up against the veteran presence of Punk.
Yeah. Rookie versus Punk, that's what I like to see. Heesang's still trying to enact revenge, that is for sure. He's getting there.
You can see that there's a little bit of friendly banter back and forth, obviously no bad blood. Where, you know, if anyone asks us here on the broadcast talent, we'll tell you that Heesang hates Proper and they have a vendetta against each other, but
they hate each other.
In reality, I'm sure they're good friends.
Good friends.
Yeah, everyone's just like
friendly
here to have a good time.
Circuit Royale, Colosseo Leo says the map pool. If you forgot it, or you've only just joined in. If you have only just joined in, what have you been doing all day, man? We've got some good Overwatch coming, and I'm just saying, this could very well go to a map number 5. Shock need this win. We're one day away from this big break, and then we have the patch. Like, this is a time to get some wins, to guarantee yourselves that playoff spots. The Vancouver Titans have just been up so big over the last couple of weeks, like stocks through the roof.
And we spoke about the Vancouver Titans yesterday when we were saying, well, they are kind of the gatekeeper team of the middle of the pack. So this match is actually interesting in that vein because it's, well, where is San Francisco Shock? Are they in the upper echelon, or are they in the lower echelon? Because they've really flip-flopped so much throughout this season, most of the time being in the lower echelon. And the San Francisco Shock, they're going to finish with a nice seeding because their next 2 matches against the Vegas Eternal, twice. So they got some interesting ones coming for them their way. Okay, Finn's usually a great pianist. Shh.
Proby!
Oh my god!
The beautiful symphony from Finn ruined in a mere microsecond. Proby, stop it!
Proby.
How to get subbed out after a single match. Ruin Finn's
Pause the game. Someone call Krusty. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here, man. All right, let's have a look what Shock are playing then on the offense and obviously on the defense for the Vancouver Titans. A little bit of Genji coming out from both sides. Also, Finn and Faith swapping roles here a little bit. A little Zen, a little Brigitte, a little bit of difference there.
Oh, Heesang.
Heesang got absolutely dominated. Okay, Titans, they do be flopping.
Well, Proper did cheat because he had Finn come over and give him some help and some health, but that was an overcommitment by Heesang in a big way. And interestingly enough, there is a difference in the backline as well. Finn is playing the Zenyatta, which will give them a lot more damage on the shield and on the Sigma. With the Discord Orb, they'll also have the Transcendence. While Faith, he's going to be able to keep packing the, not the Genji, packing the Echo as well. And as soon as Heesang switches over to the Echo, Proper switches over to the Widowmaker.
All right.
I like that adjustment.
Yeah, I really do. It's going to be so hard for Heesang to really get much here.
Yeah.
Much done at all. But he's still going to be able to play corner, which is great. Sugar Free takes what seemingly was a body shot or a few orbs from Finn.
Heals.
Proper.
Oh! He makes it look so easy. Great shot.
Really does.
And what do you do? At this point, the Vancouver Titans, they can't even hold up. They don't have a front line. They have to be afraid of the Widowmaker, and that should just be a first point capture very quick.
Yeah. Oh, Punk. Rocked.
Faith, what are you doing there?
Headshot. Yeah, he's got bash. He's got bash. I want to see some sick... Okay. I was going to say I want to see some sick grapple shots from Proper, but no, Sugarfree shuts him down.
I don't know who is the Widowmaker player for the Vancouver Titans, and if they are going to ever match, or at least try and match Proper in that one. Oh,
They're
wow.
fluxing? I mean...
I like it.
Sure, to get him off the point.
If they can push this objective a little bit further forward as well, that could be a huge flux. Doesn't look like they're able to punish, but they should be able to take at least a little bit of space.
Yeah, Sugarfree almost went down.
It's a quick flux as well.
It's
Punk's only at 67%.
Yeah, that's mad. We'll see if Max can hit the lap here. Doubtful, but he could get close.
Yeah. And now, all of a sudden, Vancouver Titans are in an issue, especially Heesang, where they have to deal with the threat of Proper. You can see them not wanting to step into the sightlines of Proper. As soon as Crimzo peeks his head, he takes a shot.
Yeah, Sugarfree, this should be a free
now
little
he's in
dash
trouble,
up on the high ground. Does Proper take the shot? No, just pure SMG. Kept alive, though, as Proby comes for a little bit of moral support. Punk ends up going down. Window from Lucamino is good enough for the damage. However, Heesang is now on the field. He's replacing Punk just for the time being. A free flux, but no, actually cancelled by Finn. But Heesang still comes up with 2 kills. A scrappy fight, a little bit of a kerfuffle, but Proby on the high ground leaps into the skies. Crimzo with nowhere to run as Proby hitting the bag. Comes in, hits the tactical crouch, and we move on.
Welcome to the Overwatch League, Proby. You're going to do great here. But they don't have the tank to be able to be in that front line, so Punk is going to get a recontest, finally coming up to that flux. Max almost did hit him with the lap. But now Sugarfree has the overclock, Punk with the flux. This is going to be a difficult fight for the San Francisco Shock to win.
Yeah, not even a Transcendence available, unfortunately, from Finn. Sugarfree with a little bit more of a passive angle, you'd say. There's the flux around the column. There is the overclock. Lamp's dead. Still trying to peek, but no. Hands are held by Max. Lucamino in trouble. Rock under the shield. Sugarfree takes to the skies to take Proper's head clean off his shoulders.
Yeah, great play there from the Titans.
Good shot.
Sugarfree is looking nice on the Sojourn right now. Sort of really, once again, a testament to his flexibility.
This would be a really nice stagger if he gets it. Wait. Yeah, his flexibility is kind of crazy.
Oh my, another early flux from Max.
Why not? Survives, hits the flux, now they just roll up the stairs or roll up the main ramp.
The question that you have to raise is, would they prefer to have this to, you know, sort of close out this second point? Because, oh, never mind.
Crimzo dead, pop the window, Proper still peeks it, of course he does. Deflect isn't going to be good for that rock, unfortunately, but it does go a little bit wide. Proper still willing to peek the angle through the window. The San Francisco Shock now, staggering the Vancouver Titans. Crimzo's going to come back rather soon, but the tracking from Proper, making sure Heesang is kept honest, but there's the window. That's a problem. Punk's head is going to have to be careful. No body shot, though, from Proper. Does instant targets, but a beautiful reflect from Heesang. Oh, my word. Just read Proper like a book.
I don't even... Was that Proper's shot that got deflected or someone else's? I don't know exactly what it was, but straight back into Proper's face, maybe going through the window and back the other way. Heesang Blade trying
to get out cooldowns, maybe gets the reset. Lamb comes up. Transcendence forced, actually. Okay, you take those if you're the Vancouver Titans.
And that's a lot of ultimates that the Shock are using to try and just keep themselves in fights or take a little bit of position, but it's not really paying off for them.
Oh, this is 3 kills to the Vancouver Titans right now, too.
Yeah. And there's only a minute and a half remaining, Jack. Because they're using so many ults to get into position or stay in these fights, what it feels like is when they get to the very end, they don't have the tools to be able to close it out, and
these
all the way to spawn door.
Nasty. Wait, Crimzo just randomly dies to Max. Okay, all good though. You push them all the way to spawn door.
Max
they have to go for a big reset.
There's good money that Max is about to flux the Vancouver Titans.
I mean, he's got it in like 2%.
Yeah, I know. Come on,
watch him insta-pop
do it again. Oh, he does! Oh my God, Max, no!
He hits him. He hits the backline too, and there goes Sugarfree. Faith 1 HP. Does manage to get the lamp in time though. Rock flung out by Max as they stack themselves on the payload, and Heesang falls. There may be a flux here, but there should be a decent amount of healing, plus the lamp to save him. What an aggressive play by Max. He's done that 3 times in a row. The aggressive flux on the first point when the cart is near second. And the point's unlocked. 2 minutes to go. Pushing on to third now.
Third time's a charm, Max,
Yeah.
right?
Let's go, baby.
He got value from all three of those fluxes. This was the first time they were able to capitalize on that advantage and actually start closing through with the cart. So great play, but they only have 2 minutes remaining on this third point. And how many times have teams been stuck here? Because you have to find a way to dislodge the defensive team from exactly where the Vancouver Titans are. Right now, Max and Proby looking like they want to potentially go outside and match them. Actually, Vancouver Titans dropping off of that high ground.
Okay.
Interesting. Proper's coming up on a blade. They don't have a Transcendence on the side of the Titans. They have the Overclock, lots of ultimates to really find a lot of picks.
Can be a little bit of a crazy angle too if you take it. Didn't think about Robert though. Nice rock on Lucamino.
Yeah.
You seen him pop the... Ooh. Seen him pop the lamp down, but as soon as you get rocked in that lamp, you're pretty much dead.
You can see the Vancouver Titans actually playing very slowly to get those final few kills, because every time it feels like they've stepped up, they've lost members or they've had ultimates thrown in their face.
Don't worry. Max doesn't have ult, but enough Proby ripping the over... Okay. All right, Proby. Yeah. Ping diff, I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Ping.
Dude, the Shock have a lot of confidence in themselves
They do.
to be able to punish this aggression from the Titans.
I mean, you need that right now if you're the San Francisco Shock, right? You need to just be in your comfort zone. Play like the Shock have always played, up in people's faces, not afraid to take those duels. Speaking of which, Proper's got Blade, so is Heesang. Flopper or Freesang, that's the question. Freesang, he's still got that blade going. Proper does get bashed, and there's the blade from Heesang, straight to the spawn doors. Bashed with the Transcendence though, so two support ultimates utilised to make sure no one goes down. I say that though, as Proby is cut clean in half, and Freesang gets the kill. Oh, it is Flopper, and it is Heesang. What a beautiful way to play. And with 4 seconds to go, it's nice to see Genji, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to touch. There you go. I mean, I'm all here for it, man. If we see more Genji on Circuit Royale, a little bit less Widowmaker, and more plays like that, hey, we're in for a good time, that is for sure, on the next flip. A good halt there by the Vancouver Titans, playing up to the spawn door yet again, but this time they didn't get punished.
Yeah, Titans really learning from their mistakes, expecting this kind of overconfidence to come out from the Shock, trying to use their individual brilliance to really just push Vancouver Titans around, but Heesang's got hands, Sugar Free's got hands. You got to be careful if you try and step up and you just try and out-mechanic them. These are players that will be able to match you. It's not a terrible push here from the San Francisco Shock getting to the third point, but it shouldn't be impossible for Vancouver Titans to match this.
Yeah, it's not exactly on the final stretch. It's not like near the last point. I like the aggression from both teams. I mean, Heesang and Proper coming out with decent blades, forcing ults, right? Doesn't look like we're going to see that from the Vancouver Titans on the offense, at least not right now, at least where they're hovering. The Shock just going back. Widowmaker, no real surprise. I mean, Proper's just such a master on most heroes he touches, and Widowmaker is no different. There was Sojin stats for you here.
Sugar Free
fairly similar, but charge accuracy quite a bit better.
Sugar Free looking nice. He had a couple of really big overclocks there.
Yeah.
A couple of really big picks, but you can really see a weakness actually starting to form for the Vancouver Titans, or at least a hole, maybe not a weakness, but a hole. Neither one of Sugar Free or Heesang seem to want to pick up that Widowmaker. They can play the Hanzo, they can play the Sojin, but neither are willing to go toe-to-toe with Proper.
Oh, that barrier was just in time. All good. Heesang on the Echo now. Okay. Even after seeing Proper on the Widow.
I think he's thinking it might be easier to play the Echo because you can play around the corners and you're not sort of stuck, sort of flying around, not trying to over-aggress. We'll see if it works a little bit better for them. The Shock have so much damage with the Zenyatta, with the Sojin and the Widowmaker. Everyone on the Titans has to be careful. If they peek their head out too much, they could go down.
Yeah, I mean, Zen is more of an aggressive pick. It's more of a greedy pick as well, right? But you just do have so much damage to that Discord Orb. It is ridiculous. And of course, Finn doing a lot of that himself too. Nice bit of damage onto Punk. Speaking of which, I mean, you just perma-discord Punk pretty much this whole time, and then Punk has to play extra careful. Statue control in favor of the Vancouver Titans here, as Max gets rounded upon. Nice headshot. Or it was a body shot with the railgun, but headshot tickled Proper afterwards. That's just first point, just straight up.
Yeah, and this is actually something that we haven't really spoken about, but you can see how the Titans want to utilize the Brig. Because the Brig does a lot of AoE healing and just has so much healing output compared to their Zenyatta, they just walked at the Shock, and Max was the one who ended up paying the price.
Probably not really coming up with the picks right now, which is exactly what he needs. I mean, this duplication could be rather ginormous, especially on this point of the map. Everybody's grouped up. If you do the SIG, pretty free flux. It's kind of scary. Heesang is just such a beast.
And they've just given up the first half at this point as well, the Shock. They just don't want to step up too much. They're trying to give Proper as much opportunity to find these picks. Right now, ultimates coming up for both sides, so we're going to have a lot of ultimates thrown.
I mean, Crimson just wants to step up to the corner, right? Proby in a little bit of trouble. Oh, no. Those spheres from Punk connecting, and now Max is the next target. And with Vin dead, it's a free flux. Goodbye, Lucamino. Goodbye, Max. Goodbye, Shock. Second point is the Vancouver Titans with, oh yeah, that's a lot of time. 5 minutes and 43 seconds. A lightning pace. Shock, very much bottled right now.
And look at where the card is as well. That's so difficult to hold because you can't even really hold on the corner like you've seen a lot of tanks do because you can't juggle back and forth because the cart will just walk forward.
I mean, Sugarfree, he's having a good time. He's having a good time, if you can tell.
He saw where the box was and he's like, oh yeah, we're chilling.
I mean, Proper just has to hit some just unhuman shots, like just crazy stuff right now.
If they win one fight and then they can do a spawn hold, maybe that's the best opportunity for them. But, you know, Titans still have so many ultimates. They have the duplicate, they have the overclock.
Someone has to touch, though.
Yeah.
1 meter to go. Someone has to... Like, good luck if you're going to touch that with your Max, right?
Yeah.
0.3 meters.
It's
they just
gonna cap. Yeah, no, you can't
They just cap. They just can't do anything. They can't walk forwards. They can't do anything.
Oh, Punk's face.
Yo, bring the team comms in.
Yeah.
Root the team comms into the broadcast.
That, honestly, just a masterclass from Vancouver Titans, really playing to their strengths and just picking apart the Shock.
I mean, that was all on their defense too. When they took that fight, they managed to win it there. The payload's in such an awkward spot. You're not normally fighting there on the last OT fight, right?
Yeah.
They pushed all the way to spawn.
Yeah.
They made sure the Shock had to go for a crazy touch. We saw Proper pull blade, he didn't find anything, and then Heesang baiting out the Transcendence and then dip into the side, killing Provi, and then it was I think it was Finn actually who was trying to get back on the Lucio. What an awkward spot to hold. Masterclass from the Vancouver Titans though, playing straight up to San Francisco Shock spawn. I told you, it's going to map 5. I can feel it in my bones right now. We're going to push is next.
And anything can happen on push. If we go back to what the San Francisco Shock showed in the first 2 maps, maybe Junbin comes in to play that Wrecking Ball. Push is a map where you can play very spread out. The Zenyatta can get a lot of value, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Striker come back, to see Junbin come back, because you know they definitely don't want to take on Vancouver Titans in another Sigma mirror.
It was great. If they do end up coming back in, I'm not sure where they're going to play. So that is pretty fun.
A blessing and a curse of any team. Oh, this is the deflect. Ooh.
Oh,
It was
it did look like that. I'm not sure. Whatever hit it.
Okay, that's crazy, Jack. Whenever Finn gets a kill, you're like, oh wow, look at how great the Zenyatta was. As soon as Zenyatta kills his teammate, you're like, oh, it's unclear whose fault it is.
I don't know what that was actually. That was crazy actually. I'm not sure. I don't know. Crazy stuff from Heesang. Living up to his name. I mean, Heesang was very hyped coming into the season and just kind of in Proper shadow a lot of the time on the San Francisco Shock, and seeing him almost full playtime right now on the Vancouver Titans, you really can see what he is made of. Colosseo is the next map. Are we going to see subs? We'll have to wait and find out after the break. Welcome back. He sang Genji stats for you. After that last map, Final Blow sitting at 7, 15 limbs, 2 Dragon Blade kills, 3 deaths. Not too bad whatsoever. Genji on circuit. Pretty unconventional, but I like it.
It's been making a resurgence, especially against these hit scan snipers. If you can get on top of players and you can start getting those dash resets, you can just absolutely eviscerate your opponents, and he's saying doing just that. And it was interesting, the desk coming into this match was sort of talking about the playtime of Heesang on the San Francisco Shock versus what he has been doing on the Vancouver Titans. And you can tell the strength of him as a player when he's able to play his comfort heroes. On the Shock, he had to play so much Sombra, and that's a very different hero. It's very unconventional, and you don't really get to show your prowess as a mechanical DPS player. Well, we're seeing it now on the Vancouver Titans.
I think we did dissect in the break as well. I believe that was a Zen orb that was reflected, so Proper cannot be blamed for shooting himself in the head.
Yeah, because it's like 45 damage, and then if you headshot that, it's 90 damage. But you don't have a disc orb, but if it's through the window, that does about 180 damage, and a Widowmaker has 175 health. So one shot from one left click through a window.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Maths, everybody.
Just maths.
Just maths. No substitutions, by the way, from the San Francisco Shock going on to this next map. Colosseo, push. No jumping.
We could see maybe they'll play like a Ramatra Rush composition. That's obviously being quite prominent on this map. But in general, we've seen Junbin usually stay in to play these compositions. So the musical chairs of San Francisco Shock continue. Maybe Danny had a point when he was saying that they're just taking pages out of the Chengdu Hunters playbook, and if you don't know what we're doing and we don't know what we're doing, then nobody has any idea what anyone is doing. It's not really working for them so far, and it didn't work for the Chengdu Hunters either, but we'll see if it works on Colosseo.
Will it? I don't know, man. Well, I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we're jumping in just a brief moment. I mean, the San Francisco Shock sitting at 6-6 right now. Vancouver Titans could be 8-6 after today, really being the gatekeepers of the top of the board. I mean, the Shock could also match them in wins today too if they do end up taking us to a map 5 and winning it out. I mean, I'm thinking back to that circuit. How many fights did we have on circuit on the Shock's defense? Maybe a couple. It was just
2.5.
Yeah, like a 5-minute time bank into third was just ridiculous. I loved it as well because you said going to the next round. I mean, look, it's doable for Vancouver Titans. Like, you can do this. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, like getting second point, and then Vancouver Titans just walk all over them. Like, that scoreline does not depict how kind of one-sided that map actually was. Colosseo is up next. Max in, no Junbin, and Proby staying in 2. So, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing the Ramatra Rush here.
Yeah, and it's sort of something that works for a lot of other teams, but the problem is, for the San Francisco Shock, it hasn't really worked for them. And they've gone back and forth with Max and Junbin so many times in the past, and I think myself and a lot of San Francisco Shock fans were hoping that maybe they would have started picking and stabilizing on who they want to play. If they are playing the Ramatra and Max is going to be that guy, hey, all the power to them. But I just want to see some consistency from what they're playing on the maps that they're playing with the same roster.
Yeah, it did feel very random at times throughout the start of the season, but, you know, sliding into their groove. Better late than never, eh? All right, what we got then, Titans? What we got then, Shock?
You know, it'd be super funny if Max came out and played Wrecking Ball.
That'd be wicked. I'd be like, whoa, no way. Rip up the script book. Also, this would be rather interesting too. Is Finn still going to... I mean, Finn's Ana is also exceptionally good. We could also see Finn jump back onto the Zen. Zen is a little tougher to play, but there are long sightlines you can do, and he is hovering it. Max hovering Doomfist. Sigma? Okay.
No way are they going to play Sigma on Colosseo.
Almost the circuit comp on Colosseo.
How do you stop this Vancouver Titans roster from just
running you over?
Running around like the main sightlines and then diving on the back line? I think the Titans are going to be shocked to see this one just as much as I am.
I think less shock and more extremely happy faces.
Yeah, because in a...
It's tough, man.
The way you look at these compositions, the Vancouver Titans team should win. It made more sense on Control, but on a map like Push, it can be just very difficult. Let's see what the Shock are trying to cook up here, and if they can keep Finn alive. They did a great job in the first map.
Lucamino and that works. But that works too, yeah. Punk went a little bit too deep to try and find that kill. I mean, the thing is with Sigma too, look at Proby tracking Crimzo through that wall. They can get another pick here. No, in fact, they lose somebody. It's actually Sugar Free taking care of Lucamino. I mean, the thing is with the Sigma as well, Scott, it's so good on escort maps like Circuit because you only need to look one way.
Yeah.
Right? Not so much push, where there's a million flank angles. Finn has been hacked. Any follow-up? A little bit of healing would be nice. He's so low, he's holding the right click. Sugar Free knew exactly what was going down, and Finn just left out on an island.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He is in trouble? No, maybe they can slip into stealth again? Yeah, okay. Don't worry, I need to pay attention to the front line.
Yeah.
Punk's low, does back off. Pulse bomb for Proper. My word, he built that up pretty quickly. Didn't even see him do much damage, but we were looking on someone else, to be fair. Here comes Finn, he's back.
Something Max will be able to do as this Sigma is split the backline from the front line. Because he is literally just going to sit on this bot for the rest of the game, dropping his shield, that'll make it very difficult for Crimzo to be able to heal Punk, heal his front line that are diving.
Easiest nano ever, and you can even engage with it too. It's not just a safety nano, it's an offensive one. Max goes down to a pulse bomb. He's sang dead, decent trade, but Punk's on high ground. Has got the backup he requires too. Jump stroke back to Crimzo and Faith. A rally on the horizon for the Brig. With 15, 16 meters coming up, I mean, Max is going to have to be a little bit cautious. Sugar Free is just lying in wait with this EMP, and they need to group to make this comp effective.
That's a free kill there onto Proby. Proper does get hacked, but it's not going to result in anything, and this is interesting. Heesank goes over to this Genji. I actually really like this choice. I think it's a lot more effective in aiding the dive against the Baptiste and the Zenyatta. Your ability to just eviscerate targets and take them down while also having that deflect is so important.
You could just hit the solo EMP here. Oh no!
Ooh, wow.
Nice force of the Transcendence by Sugar Free. Just a single manual hack forced him to press Q. There's the Flux. Oh no. Yeah, just a nade from Crimzo is enough to heal everybody up. Not quite so lucky though is Punk on the receiving end of that window damage from Lucamino. Sugar Free still holding on to that EMP. At least they've gotten rid of that big ultimate. Decent amount of distance though, pushed by the robot, Scott.
Yeah. And something that Shock are going to struggle with is stepping up into this. Oh, but they've got the Titans backline in a corner.
Punk should be good. Good stick by Proper. Who other than Proper? There's the EMP on the back line. Lamp does go down. Finn in trouble though. Still getting healed up as Proper tries to make sure this is an even fight. But it's actually just swinging completely in the favor of the Shock, in fact, as the Vancouver Titans just unable to really capitalize on these giant ultimates.
They were just at such a huge deficit, unable to do anything to follow up the EMP. Punk even pops the Primal Rage, but with the Discord Orb, that 1,000 health pool is just going to absolutely disappear. Heesang switches back to the Tracer, thinking maybe it wasn't as good to play the Genji.
EMP available from Proby now. There it is, lands on the Brig. Fail tried to bash straight into him, and Proby takes him down with the help of Prop on the other side of the stairs. How is this comp working? I do not know, but of course it's the San Francisco Shock. They are definitely putting on a show. Titans with a nano, and they haven't got much else left, and they need to stop this bot before it reaches the checkpoint. I mean, Punk is just jostling onto the high ground. Yes, you can contest from there, and only the Discord Orb is going to stop him from really doing all too much. I mean, he's still chilling. He's still chilling. Recall from Proper, and there goes the bot. Punk has now stepped on top of it as Max takes a quick nap. Bot's been stolen for a brief moment, but there's the split that the Vancouver Titans needed, and there's the engage. The damage should be good enough, especially with this nano. Yeah, all right, Max, Proby, dead. Shock do have ults in the bank, but pretty happy with the distance they got, actually, Scott.
Yeah, you can't be unhappy with that. They just need one clean wipe to be able to cap it all the way to the very end. Max is going to make a change for himself, goes over to the Junker Queen instead of the Sigma, maybe realizing to capture the point, he's not going to be able to do that on Sigma.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's hard to really know because you said how the Shock making this work. It's because the Vancouver Titans also don't know how the Shock are making this work. It's such a different style of playing. Early Transcendence from Finn, don't know what happened there.
Maybe he sang forced, not sure. He was definitely in the vicinity, that is for sure. Lucamino! What are you doing down there, buddy? There's a pulse bomb onto Punk, a return pulse onto Max. I think Lucamino was in the animation of putting up the window there, Scott, so couldn't actually heal up Max to full HP before that pulse bomb just turned him into just bloody pieces. Spattered over Colosseo. Another EMP available from Sugar Free as well, Scott. I mean, this is going to be the point if they're not careful, but Finn, again, on the board, killing tracers left, right, and center.
Yeah, Finn, that's such an important pick there as well, because all of a sudden Vancouver Titans, they were getting positioning. Sugar Free was there to drop an EMP, so that just gives the Shock a little bit of respite. And they're looking for Sugar Free, just trying to find any movement.
The Translocator.
Yeah.
He is looking.
And it's just so hard for the Shock to step up. Look at how far back Finn has to play. So
Kumino too, he's on the high ground. Like, he knows this EMP's coming. And they're going to be targeting Finn, but Sugarfree's actually got a different target in his sights. It's Max in the front line. Max is taking a little bit of damage. Sugarfree on the side. A big EMP might just do it. Heesang gets just meat shot, but there's the return EMP. Max survives for a little bit too long there and does help take care of Punk. But it's Lucamino who is staying all the way back, throws out the Frisbee, even could hit shift if he wanted to, but didn't need in the very end. And this just might be the butt scratch mode, the checkpoint coming up. And the Vancouver Titans support line, they're trapped.
No, I think they're going to be just fine. Once again, Punk is going to be able to contest from his high ground. And this is my issue with this composition that Shock are playing. They just can't force the issue right now. Look at how far back they have to play, especially with Max dying. Also worth noting, Heesang just can't work out what hero he wants to play. Now over to the Sojin, just giving him a little bit of range.
Wow, I thought he got hacked out of that nade almost. Nano boost engaged, but Lucamino still on the high ground, just pumping Finn full of heals, but Heesang with a railgun shot helps Punk take down the target. Lucamino still being quite slippery on this Batiste. It feels like he's not taking any damage at all. Oh. Punk's trying to find him. He's even got the Primal Rage. He can rip that whenever he chooses, and there goes the backline of the Shock. Finn is going to spawn in just a moment as Max is struggling to keep himself alive, even with the shout, the hack, that extra damage is enough to get the kill, and the Titans nearing the lead.
And unfortunately for the Shock, they don't have the players active and the defensive hold where they're on top of the bridge, so they can't do that high ground contest. Proper throws a stray pulse bomb that hits nothing.
They still get the contest though, Scott. Point, oh, not quite. Proper with no recall, can't stand up right there. And that checkpoint is so close. Max with a Rampage, drops down to low ground. Rampage is good for 2. Crimzo, Fate in trouble. Max trying to chase Crimzo down. And finally the Rampage put to good use. Just before that checkpoint, the bot is halted.
And that is important because obviously Shock lose the lead, but at least they don't have to get the checkpoint to even match the Vancouver Titans. They just need to win one more important team fight. Issue is they're walking into an overclock and EMP. Finn has the Transcendence, but you can see how much respect they have to give to this Shock team, the Titans team, sorry.
Max goes solo. Oh, that anti. Woo. That would have been death there, I would imagine. Surely they know. How has he not been discovered? I mean, EP and the Transcendence from Finn early again. Just so scared of Sugarfree's presence, Scott.
A very itchy trigger finger there from Finn. He's so afraid of this EMP and he doesn't want to get caught without it that he almost uses it for nothing.
Wow, Max is just getting rolled on the approach too.
And if you're the Titans, you don't have to do anything. The ball isn't in your court. You have the advantage. The issue is if you lose one team fight, but there it is.
In the small room, but no, the shout from Max actually coming in mad clutch. And Punk goes in and goes down again. Rally from Faith. Heesang with the overclock, but Proper's trying to make it even. But he can't find a target, it seems. Heesang with a dash in 1 second, can't quite get away. There's a minute to go with the Titans. They've got control of the bot, yes, but no. The San Francisco Shock are winning this fight.
Oh yeah, Crimzo's in trouble. These are late deaths. Where's the bot? The bot's already moving forward into position. Is Punk going to be able to sit on this high ground, stop it, contest it from the high ground once again?
3 meters, Scott. 3 minutes is all they need to grab that lead.
And they're not
going to
get it.
There. Nope, no, they are not. And even checkpoint as well. I mean, Heesang's the closest one, but they can't touch. 30 seconds to go when the Titans have lost the lead.
They've lost the lead. The butt scratch is coming out, the pulse bomb. And then he takes out Proper. Great play from Heesang. So the Vancouver Titans will get another shot at this.
Sugarfree needs just a decent engagement here. They've not got much apart from this Nano. This Nano into the Primal Rage potentially as Sugarfree is in a little bit of trouble. Proby too. Heesang was just some stray shots with the help of Sugarfree takes him out.
It is worth noting here, as soon as if the Vancouver Titans do get the checkpoint, they're going to need to wait it out and then get a little bit of extra meterage.
Nano boost in the front line, but Max is just charging forward. He's so low, it still takes out Faith. Crimzo does land the nade just in time to save himself and find the elimination. But yes, Scott, they still need to touch and they still need to get that Buzzcrow match eliminated. Probe gets hacked, slept by the god. And it's going to get initiated, but are they going to be able to get this lead before they get back in time?
Shocker nowhere to be seen. Overtime spawns. It's going to take so long.
I mean, Proper's here, Scott. Sugarfree's got the EMP. It's going to be the easiest one of his life. Just a brief touch and it's all but good. EMP lands. Max gets hit. Finn is down. Primal Rage launched in by Punk. Max finds 1 kill, but is it good enough? The EMP does hit 4, but the Vancouver Titans, they're going to stand up to the Shock and eviscerate them. A 3-1 victory over San Francisco.
Little bit of a crumble there from the San Francisco Shock. They were in the driver's seat, but just made some crucial mistakes. Proby getting caught twice at the end there, not able to really offer anything on that Sombra. If he could get up to that EMP, even just contest the bot, slow it down that little bit. Oh, Heesang, congratulations on getting your trophy. It was stolen away, ripped away from Faith yesterday just for this moment for Heesang.
The Vancouver Titans, 3-1 as well against the San Francisco Shock. I mean, look, Johnny Predator on the desk. I know he's got his head in his hands right now, but I think the Vancouver Titans on this giant upswing, I mean, Heesang is putting out numbers, some crazy amounts of damage. Just one of the best pickups the team could have made, potentially, halfway through the season. I mean, Sugarfree's also stepping up to the plate, and I mean, the back line in Faith of Crimzo too. Yeah. My God, is that stalwart. I thought Punk was taking off his t-shirt then for like a victory celebration.
Take it off, Punky. Yeah, come on. Yeah, take it off. Yeah, we're all here for it. I won't find you. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Jack. This Vancouver Titans roster is just rock solid, as Jake says. They play such a smart, cohesive, coordinated game that every time they play, you know what to expect. While on the other hand, the San Francisco Shock, they're the opposite end of the spectrum. I have no idea what they're going to play, who they're going to play, when they're going to play it. And that costs them once again in this Colosseo. They had some advantages, but they just weren't able to keep it going.
Yeah, some roster shovels halfway through the series, and then we had a ton of different picks from the Shock. Like you said, maybe wasn't their wheelhouse, not entirely sure, but it is the Vancouver Titans taking this series. The player of the match, though, for this one, who is it gonna be? Of course. Gets the trophy and the player of the match. What more can you ask for on a Saturday afternoon? Heesang, putting out numbers, putting out damage, some nice ults, just good play all around, just an extremely solid player and focused as well, Scott, like you were mentioning. He had to play so many different roles on the San Francisco Shock, but now just in his wheelhouse, very much in his lane.
And you can see the confidence that his team and his coaches have in him, giving him freedom to, hey man, if you feel like you need to make swaps, do it. How many times in the middle of maps was he going, okay, Genji's not working, I'll go Sojin. Okay, Sojin's not working, I'll go Tracer. He made the right choices at the right times. He switched over that Sojin. I questioned it on Colosseo, but instantly found value on Colosseo, turned that map around for them. And look at these numbers. They might not be the craziest numbers in the world. That is high deaths. But it's not just Tracer that really stood out for me. It was everything else.
Yeah, so many picks in this match, right? As well as that Genji on Circuit Royale, which is something I never thought I'd see in a million years. Not out my Circuit games anyway, but yeah, it did end up working out. Yeah, his blades were a little bit better proper at the end of the day. I mean, that circuit was just dominant too, not just the hands of him, his backline, and everybody on the Vancouver Titans. I think it's a very exciting time to be a Vancouver Titans fan, honestly. I mean, we're nearing play-ins, and this is really where you need to show up. You want the best seeding possible going in.
And I believe that takes them to 8 and 6 as well. They're going to be rocketing up the standings. They're going to have a high seed for the playoffs, which gives them an even better chance of making it all the way to Toronto.
Yes, the Vancouver Titans, they unleash the beast and they bottle the lightning of the San Francisco Shock. We're going to throw it over to the desk. They're going to wrap up the day and send us off to tomorrow. I'll see you soon.
How's it going, Johnny?
Close.
Welcome back. Yeah, thank you so much, Joss and Costa. How is it going, Johnny?
How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm not gonna lie. That was really fun for 2 maps. And then
Nothing lasts forever,
Even
Johnny.
Colosseo, that was fun.
no, the way they lost that. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
Probe feeding 2 times.
Hey, we're just being nice, alright?
Oh, the way they lost, they took 2 fights on Circuit Royale, and then they just like stepped off the court. What was that C9? What a frustrating experience it is.
there were 4 people dead at the end. You know what you can call it a C9.
Wait, on Circuit Royale?
Oh, circuit. Yeah, that was, all right. But that spot, they will never win there. There's 4 minutes of
They will never win there. Oh, Jake.
No.
Oh, Jake.
You have
omnipresent, just like, oh, of course. Yeah.
No.
I won't let this
Don't take a fight Don't take a fight as 5 players because you won't win anyway.
Obviously, you should fight. Obviously, you should fight. But that's like a 1% to 99% scenario. So, like, yes, it's a C9. Yes, it's a C9. I admit it.
Why
but
bother?
You are done for.
Don't play the game.
I will bet my life savings you are done there with 4 minutes.
All right. Sure.
They're about to throw hands. Like, that's where we're at.
Go a little bit more. Come on, get up.
Don't egg him on. Don't egg him on. We need him. We need him tomorrow.
Push him or do something.
Danny has been trying to pick fights all day long, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, why don't we fight later?
What?
Why don't we fight?
No, I don't want to fight with you.
There's a height advantage, I feel.
There's a reach situation.
Also, chat, we're not small. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's
Have you
not
seen
us.
this giant?
This
He's not
man
a
is
human
just
being.
gigantic.
I'm
He's
taller
an
than Johnny.
alien. He's like 10 feet tall, guys.
You just called me an alien.
A normal human being can't be that tall.
Check
You're
his PC.
abnormally huge.
Check his PC.
Did you build the pyramids?
Statistically, I am abnormal, Danny. Who are you to point this out? What is this tall
Is
person?
that not an answer? Did you build the pyramid?
He's still denying it.
Can you touch the
Still
ceiling?
denying it.
No, you should see my ride later, Jake.
Can you,
It goes crazy.
Johnny, can you touch the ceiling if you jump?
No, I can't touch the
I think
ceiling.
you could actually.
There was an Overwatch.
I do want to talk about Overwatch too.
What happened?
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. You might have gotten the pred right, wrong. Not right.
Thanks.
Very wrong. But there was a lot to be said about the San Francisco Shock and their approach and the look we saw from them today. They changed things up.
Yeah.
We saw different lineup, different players. How do we feel after all of it went down?
I mean, I don't know what you think, Jake, but for the first couple of maps, I actually really enjoyed seeing Junbin playing the wrecking ball, and I liked seeing these compositions from the San Francisco Shock. You know, for a lot of these teams, if the London Spitfire are allowed to sort of play this Reinhardt style and cater towards Reinhardt, right? It is not the meta right now. Then the San Francisco Shock, if they've struggled in Winston, for example, Junbin is a fantastic wrecking ball player. You can get away playing this stuff. If you know, it's obviously not going to be the best composition available, but if you are so good at these heroes, why not try it? So, you know, I encourage the Shock to play around with this stuff. But they just had a hard time on Circuit Royale and a Colosseo at the end there. That's really where I think the series got away from them. Busan, you know, 50-50, win or loss there, but on Numbani, it looks pretty impressive here, Jake.
Yeah, I like the comp. I do think, though, if you really look back and analyze this, right, every time Vancouver rather comes back to the Brig and the Sombra and the Winston, the ball starts to fall apart, right? Numbani, the map they won, it was very, very well played by Junbin. He made a lot of clutch moments for his team, and they were able to clutch up in the end. But still, it was white knuckling it, and Sugar Free stuck on the Echo for a very long time because it's a great Echo map. Don't get me wrong, but I think when you're up against Ball, Bap, and Zen, you just have to go Tracer Sombra, pressure the point. Zen is going to have to peek the point, and Ball just cannot touch effectively when he's like 1v3ing on point. He doesn't have a Winston bubble to drop. If you're just getting focused down, you holding the point, it feels terrible on Wrecking Ball. So honestly, I think in like that current meta comp is so effective, it's going to be really hard to make the Bab Zen work. I think Shock is just in their London Spitfire era. They're like, you know what? Like, we don't know what's going on. We're struggling on this meta, and we're going to bring out what is like our specialty, our heroes. Vancouver is just too strong of a team at the dominant picks for that to work. But I think many teams would have fallen to what Shock brought today.
I'm telling you, man. I think San Francisco Shock, they're the new Chengdu Hunters. You know, they got that Chengdu vibe in them.
They are
a
playing
vibe.
Wrecking Ball, Danny.
they got the Chengdu vibe in them.
I mean, but honestly, like just finding your identity, there's a lot to be said about that. And I think a lot of teams have benefited, even if that identity didn't necessarily fit into the meta. That makes it all the harder for other teams to prep for it because you won't be practicing against it. We won't be seeing it in scrims. So you know you're just going to be that one team. That can throw other teams off. So maybe Shock are onto something. Is it a little too late? Maybe not. There's still the play-ins, and the Shock is not all the way on the bottom right now.
Yeah, I mean it's not all over for the Shock because they most likely will make the play-ins. The thing about San Francisco Shock, as you made that London Spitfire comparison, is London Spitfire you can kind of play the Symmetra and force the Symmetra Rhine at most maps, right? With the Shock forcing this adaptation, you get into awkward places sometimes where you can't play the Wrecking Ball, and then you're forced to play Max on Sigma on Colosseo, for example, who was later forced to swap over to the Junker Queen. It's not as straightforward of a cheese, I don't want to say call it the cheese composition, but it's not as straightforward as an alternate composition. So the Shock are forced to make these really awkward adaptations at times, and I think that's where they got lost in the sauce in today's series, and they just played some suboptimal compositions and weren't really on the same page. Whereas Ronald Spitfire, they can pretty much play Symmetra, Mei, those kind of heroes at most places.
Yeah, so not quite a cheese, but like we're getting into yogurt territory at least.
I mean, Titans just adapted really, really well.
Did.
Like they brought up,
Yeah.
they didn't give up on their strategy. They just flexed one hero, two heroes to just a little bit of a better choice. And so that was really the mark for me of a very experienced, expert team. Like, I feel even more confident about the future for the Titans after seeing this, because those are the types of comps that can throw you off and you know, mess you up. And the enemy team who's prepped all week, like, they're gonna beat you with that. But no, Titans were very, very calm in the clutch, and they made the right decisions. It's very easy to mess that up, and they didn't. So honestly, I don't want to criticize Shock. I want to praise the Titans for this.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, the Titans, we talked about it heading into this match. Not only did they want a W, they wanted that W for Heesang. Because for him, that was a grudge match. It was against his old team. He had some fighting words heading into it. Let's see what he has to say after.
All right, let's find out what Heesang has to say for the match against San Francisco Shock. We got the player of the match, Heesang, for an interview of Heesang. Big congratulations on getting the win, and also congratulations on getting the trophy as well. I saw you getting the trophy from the staff. A lot of things to congratulate. I do feel like, you know, you were always a great player on the Vancouver Titans, but especially today, I think you popped off even more. Would you say that sort of you were motivated to sort of win more because you were playing against your former, I guess, teammates. 자, 오늘 승리 축하드리고 방금 또 보니까 트로피 받은 것도 축하드리고 또 일단 오늘 경기 그저 여기 있네요. 네. 그리고 오늘 경기 또 특히나 좀 더 시상 선수가 좀 더 열심히 하고 되게 더 좋은 모습을 보여준 것 같아요. 그게 혹시나 솔직히 말해서 좀 전에 있던 팀원들이랑 경기를 해서 좀 더 분발을 해야겠다는 생각을 좀 하셨나요?
이번 경기가 저한테는 되게 뜻깊었던 경기인 것 같고 그래서 더욱 열심히 했던 것 같아요.
Definitely this match was definitely more meaningful to me personally, and I think that's why I tried my best. I tried even harder to get the win against San Francisco Shock. All right, with this out of the way, I think you guys, the Vancouver Titans, you guys have a couple weeks off. Other than sort of scrimming and practicing, what are you going to do in those couple of weeks that you guys have off? 자, 다음 질문은 이제 오늘 경기를 끝으로 이제 한 몇 주간, 1-2주간의 좀 이제 쉬는 기간이 있는데 희상 선수 어떻게 뭐 연습 말고 좀 개인적으로 그 쉬는 시간 동안 좀 뭘 하실 계획이신가요?
저가 영어도 잘 안 돼서 밖에 나가는 거는 좀 무리일 것 같고 그냥 안에서 하고 싶은 거 하면서 쉴 것 같아요.
Okay. I mean, since I'm not that good with English, it's really, I can't really go outside. So I think I'm just going to stay home and relax and chill. I think that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I just want to say your English could improve, and also, you know, just take Punk or one of your teammates with you. They could probably help. 아마 지금 뭐 영어를 못하셔서 못 나가셨다고 하는데 뭐 팀원들 데리고 끌고 나가세요. 펑크한테 가서 뭐 먹고 싶다고 하시면 도와줄 거라고 생각을 합니다. 네.
네.
All right, he says he's going to try to take up Punk with him. But with that being said, I'm going to end the interview here. Thank you so much, and big congratulations again getting the win. 자, 승리 다시 한번 축하드리면서 인터뷰 마칠게요. 감사합니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Heesang. Thank you so much, Danny.
That was
I don't know about that. I've traveled a lot for work and definitely went to places where they didn't speak English and I was not capable of speaking the native language. That did not stop me from leaving my hotel room. So
Yeah.
just have faith, Heesang. You'll be fine.
Jake knows what it's like.
These guys got to keep up the grind. Stay grinding,
Exactly.
stay hungry. Stay hungry. Because if you lose that focus, you could lose this momentum for the Titans. I mean, this is a moment where I see them as one of the teams going to qualify for the plans. Or the playoffs, rather.
Come on,
I
one
see
or
them
2
as
days. They go out and have some.
Here's
Let
the
him
thing.
leave
Here's
his
the thing.
home.
Let the poor boy have some fun, man.
I know.
Stop with the grind.
Like I'm not saying he
Just
can't
1
go
or
out.
2 days, it's not gonna kill
Yeah,
us.
I'm not
It's
saying
not gonna
that.
kill the Vancouver Titans, Jake.
What I'm saying is they played incredibly well today, and I think they want to keep that momentum going. I think a lot of these teams are going to keep practicing, keep scrimming. Maybe you can take a few days off, of course, but like don't let it slip away because this type of momentum, the playoff scenario is really scary, right? Boston, Florida, or Houston is going to be in the play-ins bracket. That team's going to qualify. Whoever it is, whichever one of those top 4, they're probably taking a spot. There's basically one more spot up for grabs, and I think the Titans want to seize it. I don't think you want to let anything go to chance if you're the Titans right now.
I mean, also, we have to keep in mind that during that break, we're going to have patch notes. There will be changes to the game. So I think a lot of those teams will be grinding hard to make sure that
Let
they are...
other teams figure it out. Go get some food in Vancouver. It's going to be gravy.
Wait for the new patch. Right,
Literally.
before the new patch drops, chill out. That's a perfect moment.
I heard Vancouver has lots of lovely food. I really want to.
So
It's
did
a
I.
beautiful
Yeah.
city. Really wonderful city.
Fantastic, yeah.
Have you been?
Gorgeous. Yeah, I have actually.
I was like, are you
I'm just making that up.
I don't know.
I saw on YouTube. It's really nice.
So from what I've heard, Vancouver is popping off. Well, the team certainly is against the San Francisco Shock. 3-1 score, nothing to scoff at. Let's take a look at how the other teams today fared as we're looking back at today's schedule.
I like that.
Gladiators managed to snack one map, but that's about it. Outlaws still pulled away with it. New York Excelsior unfortunately fell to the Washington Justice, who looked rejuvenated with Donghan back in the mix. And the San Francisco Shock trying out a lot of different looks. Some of them not half bad against the Vancouver Titans, who's just been really solidifying themselves as an upper mid-level team. What are we laughing about? Is that funny?
No, we're showing tomorrow's schedule later, so
right.
I shouldn't get that myself.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually at the bottom of your screen. But don't worry, we'll show it full screen later. Stay tuned for tomorrow's schedule, guys.
Yeah, stick around. That's really what we're all waiting for, to take a look at that schedule. For now, though, I personally really want to see our best of the day, because as per usual, plenty of things to pick from. I started things off, or I want to start things off with my personal best of the day, which is Johnny. Actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What?
that's right.
Little bit
The
of love.
Snowden Academy.
Whoa.
I just thought that was such a neat, nifty play and insight. Something which,
That's right.
you know, a filthy casual like me, I wouldn't have picked up on that. So for you to point that out, Jake, of course, also co-pointed it out in the back. But I
It's like co-pilot.
co-pilot.
Gobium.
How do we get focused there, guys?
Gobium.
I just thought that was really neat, and I love the ability for us to have illustrations and be able to like break it down and just shed some insight, which, you know, a lot of that beautiful plays, those beautiful plays, they get missed out, lost in the sauce. There's a lot of action going on the server.
Not with Johnny on the case.
Not with Johnny on the case.
Snowden Academy. Sign up for my academy sometime
Great job.
in the off season. Sign up.
Great job.
Thank
There
you.
we
You know who else did a great job?
go. Who?
There was a certain player who did an interview in all English. Donghun, I'm looking at you. Great job.
This
That is
is
my
awesome.
best of the day.
This
Because
is
to be
great.
honest, when the producer told me that we're gonna do it in English, I had to ask him 2 more times. I was like, English, the whole thing? Yes. English? Yeah. Okay. And that was a little bit scared for him, but honestly, it went really well. There's no, you guys are looking at the
Yeah, I was
screen.
like waiting for something to
You're not
happen.
gonna see anything. I'm just saying it. I just want to say
Nice.
Donghun did a fantastic job of doing the whole thing in English. And also because you could tell that, you know, it's English he's not comfortable with English, but even though he's not comfortable, he did the whole thing. He answered every single one of our questions in
Right.
English, and I think it was
It's a scary
great
thing.
job, yeah.
Right after the interview, we talked about it. Like giving interviews on a scale like this in not your native tongue, that can be incredible, overwhelming, and scary. So even if your English is good enough, sometimes just because of the nerves,